Talk Nation, salute, man. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Real Talk Live, aka the Ghetto Stephen A. Most know me as. But today is Talk Nation News. Let's get into it, man. Look at the state of the United States of America. I served my country as a soldier, who Army all day, baby. And looking at what is going on in this country, man, it's sad because as a soldier, most of the time you have to follow orders coming from who? Up high, commander in chief, and so on and so forth. And when you have a president that puts lives in danger, like he has done in the nation's capital, what can you, I ain't gonna say what can you do, what can you say, but that should make you not only feel disgusted, it should actually make you question democracy itself. How could you allow somebody like that to become a sitting president? Just because something as simple as voting. See, just like police officers, you should have to take a SOC evaluation in order to become president of the United States. Because Nancy Pelosi is talking about invoking the 25th Amendment, trying to get Vice President Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump from office. Now, Mike Pence has not only gone along, but has supported Trump's endeavors, his ideology, his actions from the beginning. So now you're asking this man, besides him being vice president, to go against his boss, the president. You've seen what happened to his ex-lawyer. And now you're asking the Vice President of the United States to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump from office because he's mentally unstable. It's a little bit too late for that. In a couple of weeks, President-elect Joe Biden, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will be in office. It's a little bit too late. The damage is done. Truly is. What can you do moving forward? Because Biden coming into office, not only does he have his work cut out for him, ladies and gentlemen, but he may not be able to undo some of the things that Donald Trump has done. That's the important and powerful thing about being president of the United States. The decisions that you make not only affects, quote unquote, the immediate nation, but also it affects the nation of the future. A lot of laws that presidents put in play, they tend to last longer than their terms. Some laws that Bush put into effect, we still deal with. So what makes you think that just because Trump is out of office, everything is going to go away, everything is going to be okay? It doesn't work like that. That's why they try to urge people to go out there and vote, 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 vote. And people vote for the sake of, because they don't want this person in office, but who are you truly voting for? I've said this, go back and watch some of the other videos, Talk Nation. I'm telling you, don't vote just though. You have to be educated, not only in your vote, but who you are voting for. Because this is what happens. Now you have news headlines, crisis in the Capitol. And per Yahoo Sports, I just read today, this is an update, Talk Nation. 4 people died at the crisis, quote unquote, in the Capitol. Most notably the young woman who lost her life, but apparently updates Three other people also lost their lives in a crisis, quote unquote, of the Capitol. 52 people, 5-2, 52 people got arrested. Now, out of the 52 pro-Trump supporters, naturally, who got arrested, somebody please let me know if Trump is going to come down there and bail you out. Anybody from his party is going to come down there and bail you out of jail. Somebody please let me know. Talk Nation want to know. Because not only you put lives in jeopardy, this is President Trump I'm talking to, not only you put lives in jeopardy, but you put the nation in jeopardy. I mean, you have social unrest that the country, that the nation, that the world is still trying to mend its wounds. Now, you also have not only COVID-19, but a COVID-19 variant that the nation and the world is still actively trying to combat. Now, on top of that, you stir up another pot of chaos with crisis in the Capitol. But at the same time, you're out golfing, making tweets. Really? But yet, you choose and you chose and people chose you to be the leader of the free world. I don't get it. And I'm not the most intelligent person in the world, but I do possess intelligence. And from what I have seen, even before he was elected president, he may be a decent businessman, but he is not presidential material. And that's no disrespect to the man. Just because somebody wants to do a job may not mean they are the best person for that job. That's why you have multiple candidates for a job. Now, for the quote-unquote president of the United States, there needs to be a new democratic or presidential system for scanning and also requirements for the sitting president of the United States. As the years progress, our democracy also must progress, must change, must be enhanced, must be fortified. So for people coming into office, that should be your goal, is to not just fix a broken nation, but to also fix a broken system. Because a lot of things cannot change unless, quote unquote, the system changes. So who is willing to step up to the plate and take on that burden? Because that's exactly what it is, a burden. You're going to have to change decades of broken laws, amendments, so forth and so on. So, to finish up with the updates quickly, 14 police officers were also injured. And if you go back and if you look at footage from quote unquote the unrest, I mean, the mob, once they infiltrated the quote unquote Capitol building, I mean, you had law enforcement, you know what I'm saying, literally running for their life because I guess they were being pursued by quote unquote the pro-Trump mob. So for the people who lost their lives, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they lost their lives, but it's really sad that somebody rallied them up and put them in a position to lose their lives. And that person being the president of the United States. He literally incited a riot. And for what? Because you cannot get over the simple fact that you lost. And not only did you lose, you lost by leaps and bounds, by over 7 million votes, bro. You got crushed. You didn't lose, you got crushed. And see, you're dealing with this situation as a man instead of a professional or a president by choosing to fight and refute the fact that not only you lost, but you're talking about there was fraud involved, robbery, theft, all types of different things. You're calling heads of state to try to coerce them to turn over their quote unquote voting, not only practices, but the way that things are done. Trying to get them to recount and redo this. You lost, man. A true champion knows when he has lost. And a true champion you are not. Now, you are not only hurting your legacy as a person, but your quote unquote legacy as a president. I mean, you're pretty much going down in history as the worst president of the United States of America. And that is no legacy that you should want. That you should want your family, your children, your grandchildren to know you as. Once they're looking at that list of presidents, and once they're talking about that list of presidents, your name will come up as quote unquote the worst president that has ever sat in that seat or that office. That's not a very good legacy for a president. I don't care what kind of points you try to prove, whatever points you're trying to get across to the people, that is going to be your presidential narrative. You are the worst ever. And that sucks. But that is a hole that President Trump has dug for himself. And you can't dig yourself out of it. You have your family, your kids, is trying to step up and protect you, and it just shows how flawed and broken that they are. What kind of character did they possess? But as a parent, it is your job to instill that character in your kids. So if they lack that as well, that is also your fault. So, according also to reports, now the FBI are going to investigate what has transpired in the U.S. Capitol. What the hell do you gotta investigate? It was on television. Nothing was secret. He went out there, had another Trump rally. Y'all saw the hats. He incited people. This is this is that. And as always, his people bought into it. But not only did they bought into it, they carried that hate and frustration, and ignorance to the Capitol building, where you got innocent people, number one, but you also have people trying to do a real job as far as bipartisanship, trying to get things done, because like I said, the nation is still in turmoil. And on top of all that, you went and poured a gallon of fuel onto the fire. And the result of that was 4 people lost their lives. 52 people were arrested. 14 police officers got injured trying to do their job. And now the FBI, as well as everything else is going on in the world that they investigating, now they got to investigate this crap. So moving forward, Talk Nation, as a nation, a lot is truly uncertain. Just because it is a new year, unfortunately, we are carrying old baggage into a new year. We haven't even sifted through everything that went on in 2020, and we're now in 2021. So, with President-elect Joe Biden, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, with their inception coming into the office, not only do they have their work cut out for them, but truthfully, some of that damage may be irreparable. And if that is the case, then this will probably be the most important presidency, who knows, of all times. Because that's just this thing about time. It progresses. It is now 2021. We can't go back. We can only go forward. So as a nation and as a people, how are we going to progress? Because there truly has really there's not been any progression. Yeah, new gadgets come out. Elon Musk sends rockets up there to the stars. But progression as a people, that is the true success of a nation, is the progression of their or its people. And we have not seen that. We have not had that. We are starving for that progression. So moving forward, will we see it? Can we have it? Will we be able to taste it? More importantly, recognize it. We shall see. Talk Nation.